right, good day, good day, good day. That was where Riley and I made our home last night. We just crossed through the town of Dalton and we're back in the woods now, just barely back in the woods. There's a parking lot, trailhead parking lot back there. And yeah, I think the trail is like right here. There's a road right over there. Cars have been going through it. I didn't even realize that the road went all the way. I thought it stopped back at the parking lot. But here is our friendly white blaze. Doesn't look like much of a trail here, but yeah, the trail continues this way. All right, so little update. I'll try to make this briefer than I usually make my morning updates. I know I just ramble on and on and on and on usually in the mornings. Today is Thursday, August 22nd, day number 112 of Riley and my hike on the Appalachian Trail. We made it to Dalton last night, Dalton, Massachusetts. About mile 1576 or 77 or so on the AT. I don't remember the exact mileage on Far Out. Because I use Far Out and I use my AT guidebook as well. And I have two versions of the AT guidebook. And they all have slightly different mileages, so it's hard for me to keep track of which mileage I'm referring to. And getting off to definitely a late start today. Didn't get into our tent last night until after 10. I mean, it definitely helped that I just settled for the tent site right immediately after getting into the woods, rather than trying to push on and, you know, find like a standard tent site. And it was cold last night. It was another cold night. We're just having one cold night after another. I wore my my yellow shirt and my rain jacket to bed last night, but I was still a little on the chilly side. I feel like I was come on, Riley, let's go, buddy. I was perspiring a little bit. Man, Riley's just not moving fast at all this morning. Yes, my yellow shirt was a little damp, I think, going to sleep from some sweat. It also rained a bit yesterday, so for whatever reason it was a little damp. And what are you doing now, Riley? Oh my goodness. I'm about to say you're being ridiculous, Riley. Are you seriously, why am I even letting you do this, Riley? Okay, Riley, this is ridiculous. You need to go back to the trail. All right, what else do I want to say here? Getting off to a very late start. I was very tired this morning. Got to bed very late last night after getting Riley and my bellies fed. I did not do any reading last night. I've not done any reading for the past 2 nights. I was looking at Far Out last night, checking out various options for resupplying in Vermont. So my next resupply, the pack's actually getting very light right now, which is excellent. But we have after we get to Williamstown, Massachusetts, which is like 22 miles from here, then we have we're gonna be entering Vermont like shortly thereafter. And there are like no on-trail towns we pass through in Vermont, and Vermont is about 150 miles. So I was looking at various options for resupply in Vermont, and anyway, the option that I think makes the most sense is, yeah, Rutland, Vermont. It's like 80 miles after we pass into Vermont, and that would be a great option if we're able to take advantage of it, because there's a hostel there that's associated with the Yellow Deli, which is a donation-based hostel, so it's not very expensive. I just need to confirm that they allow dogs there. I don't see anything that says that they don't allow dogs, but I should try to confirm that they do allow dogs. And there's a Walmart apparently within walking distance, so that would be a good way to resupply. And I think the best way to get there is there's a bus that like a public transportation bus run by the local community that makes regular stops at the AT trailhead and also right near where the Yellow Deli and the hostel is located. But I'm not sure if they would allow Riley on the bus. I think if I say he's a service dog, I think they might allow him on the bus. So I have a plan, but there's also, it's not a foolproof plan. And then of course the other options are just trying to hitch a ride into town if I can't take the bus, or call a shuttle driver. That's always an option. And then as we get closer, there will be other hikers that I'll see that I can talk with and see what their plans are and see if I can coordinate with them. All right, so it seems like there's lots of hikers out here this morning. Lots and lots of hikers. I'm not even sure that it's morning right now. It could be afternoon. We got, like I said, I was super tired this morning and I just felt like I wanted to sleep. Sleep as much as I felt like I needed to. But it feels good to get started with the day now and get moving, make some progress. Come on, Riley. I did take Riley's jacket off because it's warm enough now. It's not hot. It's actually a really nice temperature right now. But he doesn't need the jacket on anymore. He did have it on all night because it was a cold night. What else? So we have about a little less than 8 miles to go until the town of Cheshire. There's not a lot in Cheshire. There's like it's a small town. There is like a deli / ice cream place called Diane's Twist, but I'm not sure that they have very regular hours. They might close like in the early afternoon, so I don't know that. Not super confident that they will be open when we get there. Right, hold up. There's also a Dollar General, very close to the trail, which is always tempting to go to because I could easily get some ice cream there. I could have gotten ice cream at the Cumberland Farms last night, but it was just didn't seem like a good combination to eat the ice cream when I'm already so cold. So anyway, we're gonna get to the town of Cheshire most likely today, and then after Cheshire we begin there's a big climb up this mountain called Mount Greylock, which is the tallest peak in Massachusetts. And they have a big like lighthouse style observation tower at the peak, and there's a parking lot to make it easily accessible for people, and they have a big lot of green space and benches up there. Yeah, so this is a very different morning than yesterday. Riley is just, I mean, all the hikers that we've seen have been going south, so Riley keeps looking back. Riley, come on. And now I just keep having to hike on. Fortunately, Riley's not protesting too strongly. He's coming with me. I wouldn't say I'm in a great mood this morning, partly because we're getting off to such a slow start, but hopefully my mood will improve as the day goes on. The trail seems very nice so far. Last night we passed by the shelter called K Wood Shelter, and that was like, it's probably like a little after 7 p.m. at that point, so it was already starting to, I could tell that we were pretty close to sunset. And almost immediately after, like, I was like, it's gonna get dark real soon, and I started to get in the mindset of looking for a campsite. And had I found a good campsite, I think I would have taken it, because I knew that we weren't going to be able to stay, come on Riley, in Dalton, because I knew that Trail Angel Tom Lavardi, who does host AT hikers, doesn't allow dogs. Riley, what are you doing? Urgh! I'm getting to practice my growling skills here. But there was no good campsite that I found in the 2.5 miles between that last shelter and getting into Dalton. So we ended up hiking all the way into Dalton, and then hiking and I had forgotten how long of a walk you have to go through once you get to Dalton to get back into the woods. It's like 1.5 miles. So it's nice, easy walking. I just forgot how long it was. And so that's how we ended up where we were last night, just on the north side of Dalton. All right, so I said I was going to try to make this brief. It's turning into a long talk, so I will end it here for now, and we will check in later. Hopefully we have a good hiking day. Riley is just having a good time, sniffing. And I'm the trail commander saying, we must go. Must make progress. All right, hello. Van Gogh and Riley are back checking in. My mood has perked up so much. So we hiked for a bit this morning. It's not too long after my first check-in this morning / afternoon, whatever time it was. Check-in when we started the day. And we maybe hiked like 2 miles, I'm guessing. I don't know. We hiked it a little bit. We had a little climb to do. We did the climb, and then got to some level ground and did some level walking. And I started to get a little hungry and thirsty, and I usually feed Riley. I don't feed him in the tent. I usually wait to let him do his morning peas and bowel movements, and then I feed him after that. So I figured it'd be a good time to stop and feed Riley. So we stopped for a break. We just started hiking in after our break. Hold up, buddy, hold up. And it wasn't a super long break, but it wasn't a short break either. I just stopped off to the side of the trail. We found a little flat spot. And Riley, hold up, buddy. Here, let me go first, Riley. And I opened up my pack, dug into my food bag, and started by pouring some food into Riley's bowl and adding some water to it. Hold up, big guy. And I made myself some oatmeal and let it soak up for a little bit so it got a little bit soft. Hold up, Riley, just plain oatmeal. Whole rolled oats. And I also made myself a orange Gatorade with one of my drink mixes that my parents sent to me in Kent. And also had some of my, I guess it's like garlic bread that I bought in Salisbury, which I'm finally working into. And so I took my time eating that. Wasn't in any rush. That's one of the most fun things to do out here, is to eat food. And it's nice when you can just take your time and enjoy it. Yeah, so I just ate it at just the whatever pace felt natural, which was a nice slow pace. And a couple hikers came up from the south. Riley saw them and got real excited and started barking. And I was just sitting down, maybe like 10 feet off the trail or so people could, when the hikers came up, they could see me and Riley pretty easily. And of course they knew Riley was there because he was barking. And they, man, I go into a lot of detail when I talk. I'm just describing everything that happened. So we had like a real brief conversation, but it was a nice conversation. They said that they are section hikers. It was two guys, two middle-aged / older guys, I guess. One of them said he was retired, and he said they do one state a year, and they're currently doing Massachusetts. And he asked me what brings me out here, and I told him, I mean, I could have told him a lot of things, but I told him, well, it just feels right. It just feels right. And then I also told him that I also hiked in 2018, because that's really part of my story. Because like when someone asks why I came out here, it's not like it all goes back to when I first came out here in 2018, and that contributes to me wanting to that definitely had a big impact on me wanting to come out again, because it really gave me the experience about what it's like to be out here. So I did mention that. And then he was curious. He asked me, like, what's my livelihood? Well, he basically was asking what I do for a living to allow me to come out and do the AT twice. And I just told him that I used to have a job. I worked as an accountant, and I was able to save up a little money. And I told him I'm not rich, but I have enough to be able to live on. And it's not expensive to live out here. You can live very cheaply out here, as long as you're not going into town every night and staying in a hotel like I did in Great Barrington. That was just a one-time thing. It still eats at me that I spent so much money in Great Barrington. And I know I keep saying I spent so much money, but I never said exactly how much I spent. But it's not like I spent $1,000, but I spent more than what I consider to be worth it, I would say. So when you're used to living, you know, just when you're used to basically just needing to buy food, like spending $50 at a grocery store for resupply is a lot of money for me. But at least when I do that, it provides food for Riley and I for, you know, about a week or so, which works out to a reasonable trade. You know, $50 for a week of food. It's not too bad. And I'm used to finding great places to sleep each night that are totally free. That, yeah, I mean, we're cold some nights. Many nights recently we're cold. But we're still cozy. And I still, you know, I love the privacy of just having Riley and I, and I love the surprise of not knowing exactly where we're gonna stay, and then finding that place and being so happy when I eventually find our campsite and being able to stop and relax and rest and just doze off to sleep. And it's all wonderful. It's all wonderful. And it's totally free. The only cost is that you have to put the work in to do the hiking, and put the work in to keep yourself safe, and make sure you're carrying the proper gear. And so when I'm just not a hotel person. It's not that I hate hotels. They can be very nice, but I feel like their price point is more than I am. It's more than what seems to me as being a good value, I would say. So, yeah, the money I spent in Great Barrington still eats at me, but it's in the rearview mirror. As time goes by, I will forget about it. I mean, I won't completely forget about it. It'll still be a reminder of how much money towns can be, which will be a good lesson for the future, so I can avoid spending so much money in the future. But it will eat at me less and less as I'm able to put more, you know. And here's Firemaster. Yeah, so I didn't even finish my story. Riley, hold up, buddy. Hold up, Riley. All right, so Riley and Van Gogh here. Just want to come back and complete my story. So, yeah, that was basically the end of our conversation with the two section hikers. They wished us well, and I wished them well. And the guy that was asking the questions, he completely understood what I was saying about that it just feels right, and he's retired, so he's kind of in the same boat that I am, maybe just a little bit older, but that we've worked previously, and now we're doing something that we just want to do, that for whatever reason we're motivated to be out here, and we're doing what we're motivated to do. Anyway, so, but the thing that really perked me up is after they hiked on, I was finishing up my oatmeal and then slowly getting ready to go. And then Rome just walked on by. Mr. Rome, he and Firemaster stayed at Tom Havarty's last night in Dalton. And I was thinking that they probably passed us this morning already, since we got such a late start. But they said that they spent some time hanging out in Dalton this morning, which is not surprising. It's very easy to hang out in a town and spend time there And so yeah, so he passed us, and then Firemaster just caught up to us and passed us. And now Riley is just super motivated, and I think he'll be motivated the rest of the day. Hold up, buddy. So this makes me so happy that it's just so much easier when Riley's motivated to hike. And it puts me in a much better mood. It just like makes my day. It makes my day. And I'm just, I want Riley to be happy, and he's so much happier when there's other people to hike with, or when he knows there's people ahead, and it just makes him enjoy the hike so much more. So just wanted to share that. We're gonna continue to hike here, and try to have fun on the trail. All right, we'll check in later. And let me show my my face here. Riley, hold up, buddy. Don't pull me, man. All right, that's my face there. I still have my bug net on. It's not really super buggy right now, but I don't mind wearing it. And I like to wear it, so I will take it off sometimes when if it's obstructing my vision a little bit, particularly when it gets Riley, hold up, buddy. When it gets closer to evening and it gets darker out, it's easier to see when I have it off. But and it's still a little on the chilly side, so it is helping to keep my head warm, actually. All right, Firemaster and Rome, Riley, oh my goodness, calm down, are in front of us. And so Riley is super energized. They actually just they took a kind of a long break at a campsite a while back, and so we were in front of them for a while, but then we ended up taking a break as well because Riley wasn't motivated, because he wanted to wait on his people, and there was also another guy and his grandson that we were hiking next to. Anyway, Rome and Firemaster caught up to us and passed us a little while ago, and it looks like we are getting close to the town of Cheshire now. I can see a house there and a very nice private swimming pool. And hold up, buddy. Dalton, 8.4 miles. Yep, we're close to Cheshire. I mean, this is probably Cheshire right now. And I think the place that I mentioned earlier, there's this place called Diane's Twist. I think there's a good chance that they're still open. So if they're open, I think it would make sense for us to stop in. Riley! Man, oh my goodness. I don't like it when Riley just tugs on me, so I need to stop the video so I can use both hands. Riley, hey, calm down, buddy. It's okay. So I have the camera on my headset now, so I have use of both hands. Riley is so excited. Yes, we are definitely entering Cheshire. The trail just goes right down this road. Right down this road. And Riley is just giving me all I can handle. Oh my goodness. I am mocking Riley with my breathing now. All right, so I think we've done about 7.8 miles on the day. I'm just keeping an eye on the telephone poles, because that's where the white blazes are. All right, so we are at Diane's Twist here. This is just the side of the restaurant. They got a nice menu here, so I was studying the menu for a bit. Oh, there's their flavors. Milkshakes, sundaes, floats, flavor of the month, cappuccino crunch, toppings, soft serve milkshakes, sundaes, hard ice cream, and then this is their deli menu: homemade pasta salad, salads, meatball grinder, hot dogs, deli sandwiches, grilled sandwiches, Oh, buddy. And then drinks. Banana split. So I think, and they accept cash only. So I have $14 on me. I think I'm gonna get a pasta salad. That looks good. And I'm gonna get a large dark chocolate raspberry truffle. So I hope that sounds good. It sounds good to me. I think I gotta go order. So you're gonna be all right here, Riley? Stay there, buddy. It's okay. Stay. I'll be back, Riley. Okay. Mr. Riley. So I didn't realize it initially. I came out here because Rome and Firemaster were out here, but apparently, like when I go around to the front, it's not like a typical restaurant where you go inside and order. They have signs saying, "Come out to the left to order," and then to pick up, you go around to the right. So this is the place to order. I'm waiting my turn for the person who's working here to take my order, but she's busy making the other people's orders. So this is a nice break here, and we will, after this, we're gonna start our climb up, getting up to Mount Greylock. Also, I was able to call the Yellow Deli earlier today, and confirm that they do allow dogs. They just don't allow dogs in the bunk rooms, but they have a porch outside where they allow the dogs to sleep, and it's connected to the hostel, so it's a safe place. And so it's not ideal. It would be nice if Riley could stay with me, but it's doesn't mean I can't stay there. So it's good to know as I approach Rutland that is going to be a viable place to go in where Riley and I can stay, and particularly we can plan to resupply our food there. So that's great. All right, buddy. Riley. So I got my remains of my pasta salad. Very good. Having it with my bread. And this is my dark chocolate raspberry truffle. Looks delicious. Riley and Van Gogh here, hiking away. Look how dark it is. If you're wondering why it's so dark and want to blame somebody, blame me, Van Gogh. So, oh, Riley. Riley, why did you stop and then you just started again? Oh my goodness. Stay behind me, Riley. So we finished up our business at Diane's Twist. I had my pasta salad, had it with my bread, my garlic bread that I got packed out of Salisbury. Okay, you can go ahead, Riley, it's fine. And that was a very good combination to have. I think I'm pleased that I decided to break out my bread and eat it with the pasta salad. I think it was a very good pairing. They definitely complemented each other very well. I was able to talk with this guy named Pokey. He was an older gentleman, older in years. He had gray hair. But even though, like, a lot of people I say that might be older, I just mean that in terms of, looks like there's a headlamp up there. There's definitely a headlamp up there. So many people, goodness gracious. All right, so we're back here. Riley is faithfully following me from behind, even though he would prefer to stay back with Firemaster in Rome, whom we just passed. Those were the people that had the headlamp that I saw back there. So, as I was saying, yes, we went to Diane's Twist. It doesn't actually say Diane's Twist. Riley, come on, we gotta go, man, come on. On the storefront, it just says like ice cream, and they advertise that they sell Hershey's ice cream. Very nice place. Riley, come on, man. Very nice setting, good food. A little pricey for the quantity of food that they serve, but good quality, good ambiance. Cute, very cute place. I did not stop when I got to Cheshire in 2018. Got there in the morning before they had opened, so I was not able to try their food or eat there in 2018. So it's cool that I got to experience it this hike. And like I said, there was a hiker named Pokey there, and I said he was an older gentleman. And then I was about to clarify that, like, all these people that I might describe as old, it's just based on how I estimate, you know, how old they are, and also it's always relative to me. So if someone's older than me or seems older than me by like maybe 20 years or so, I'll describe them as older. But I don't mean it as a negative or derogatory term in any way. It's just a way to describe their age, I guess. But pretty much everyone I see who's older than me, they all seem very young at heart. They all seem very interesting people. Like they seem like they're very interesting people. I enjoy talking to them. Yeah, so I just want to make sure it doesn't come across as in any negative way. Anyway, so yeah, I was talking with Pokey. He actually said he lives in Great Barrington, and he came down. He knows Tom Lavardi, who is the trail angel in Dalton that lets hikers stay in his backyard as long as they don't have dogs. So he said he drove down today to visit Tom, and then I guess he decided to come to Cheshire. And he was just hanging out at Diane's Twist, and he saw me and Rome and Firemaster, and was chatting primarily with me. And I had a really good conversation with him because I was talking to him while I was eating my pasta salad and then my ice cream. So it was more than just like a typical, hey, how you doing? Like I feel like I got to know him pretty well. And then we continued on. Oh, by the way, the ice cream at Diane's Twist, I got the dark chocolate raspberry truffle. And the quality of the ice cream was extremely high. Riley, come on. Riley is protesting because he knows Rome and Firemaster are back there. But if I give him a little tug, a little friendly tug, he'll follow me. And now he wants to get in front. Good boy. I love you very much, Riley. Anyway, so we left Diane's Twist when it was still pretty light out. And then we got to the far end of Cheshire, where we had to cross this busier road, some Massachusetts route number. And there's a Dollar General, so I decided to go there. And I got another ice cream, a big boy 1.5 quart standard size tub of Edie's triple fudge brownie ice cream. I also got a half gallon of chocolate milk, got a can of black beans. I got a box of Nutty Bars, Little Debbie Nutty Bars. If you're not familiar with them, they're like chocolatey peanut butter wafers that are about the size of a Snickers bar, but because they're wafers, they're much less condensed, much less dense, I suppose. But they have a good chocolatey peanut butter flavor to them and taste. And I also got some drink mixes. They had Pure Kick PK brand electrolyte drink mixes. So I got 4 boxes of those, so 24 individual packets. Got 2 boxes of grape flavor, Concord grape, and 2 boxes of strawberry watermelon. Riley, come on, buddy. So I can add those to my stash of Gatorade drink mix, and I am pretty well stocked with drink mix for the foreseeable future. So that makes me feel good in that realm. I'm no longer at a deficit for drink mix for the foreseeable future. Anyway, it's so dark. There's a shelter that is like, we passed a sign a little while ago saying that we were 3.8 miles away from the next shelter. From that road crossing that led into Dollar General, we were 4.5 miles away. It's called Mark Noepel Shelter. And I believe that's our destination for tonight. So this is what happens when you get off to a late start. You take several breaks during the day, and then you take even more breaks in town. And not just one break, but 2 breaks. One at Diane's Twist and another at Dollar General. But I was definitely conflicted about going to the Dollar General, spending more time there, and I could feel as I was sitting outside eating the ice cream that it was just getting darker and darker. Oh, buddy. And that meant that we're going to be in the situation that we're now, where we're hiking in the dark. We don't have a super long way to go, but we're also, it's not a super short way to go either. But I'm also recognizing that it's not so bad. It can always be worse. Like, at least we are relatively fresh. We've only, getting into Cheshire, we had only hiked a little less than 8 miles on the day. So our legs are fresher than they normally are at this time of day when we've hiked more. At least my legs are, and I assume it's probably the case for Riley too. And it's not raining, so that's good. And I have plenty of energy in me from all the ice cream that I've eaten. So, and also, thank goodness that my light works, and I'm still able to use my light to guide the way. That is definitely a critical piece. Firemaster and Rome did not go to the Dollar General. They hiked on. And so I was definitely surprised to see them back there. Apparently they stopped to cook or eat dinner for themselves. And they're planning to go to the shelter as well. But they're comfortable with hiking in the dark. They'll probably even pass Riley and I before we even get to the shelter, once they finish their dinner and start to hike again. And that'll be fine, because that'll motivate Riley even more to keep going instead of looking back waiting for them. And Riley is just such a good boy, such a good companion. He was with me at the Dollar General. Oh, Riley, what are you doing, sir? You see something back here? Yeah, he was with me at the Dollar General, just staying close by. And I felt like I wasn't making the smartest decision by going there, because I really probably should have. I mean, I totally understand why I want more ice cream and want to get more food, but I should also try to prevent us from having to walk in the dark if it's not absolutely necessary. But no matter what I do, no matter whether I make good decisions or bad decisions, no matter what I do, Riley is always there, happy to see me, friendly as can be, never gets mad at me. He's just such a wonderful boy. It's a reminder that I should be so appreciative that he's with me. I am appreciative, but it's good to remind myself of how lucky I am and how wonderful he is. Such a good boy. I really like something kind of sort of triggered this thought while we were at the Dollar General and I was eating my ice cream kind of selfishly. I did feed Riley at the Dollar General as well and gave him food as well, but I just kind of had the feeling that I was making a bad decision and just making it tougher on us for the rest of the day. And I was looking at Riley, and as I was getting, starting to pack things up and getting ready to go, I could see him getting excited and wagging his tail and just being his friendly self. Riley, come on, buddy, I know. And it's amazing to me how these dogs, I mean, Riley's awesome himself, but it's not just Riley. There's so many wonderful dogs. And it's not just dogs, it's all, like many pets, but I'll limit it to dogs for this conversation, that dogs just have this way about them that that's why they're called man's best friend. They're so friendly. They don't hold grudges. And that's pretty awesome. Definitely something that I am appreciative of and thankful for. So we are making our way to the shelter. We still got a ways to go. Just taking it one step at a time. And so when we get to the shelter, we'll be about halfway, maybe a little more than halfway up the ascent for Mount Greylock. It doesn't seem so steep so far. It seems like we've gone up a little bit, but it seems gradual so far. Good boy, Riley. All right, good evening. Riley and I have made it to this shelter, Mark Noepel Shelter, and I am speaking very softly right now because the shelter area is quite full tonight. There were like 4 tent sites, 2 tent pads, and I guess 2 places where there's like a tent platform, like a wooden platform, and then 2 ground places for individual tents. And then there was also a group campsite. And anyway, so Riley and I are in our tent now. Both of the ground tent sites where I'd be able to set up my trekking pole tent were occupied. But fortunately, there was nobody at the group campsite, so I've set up my tent at the group campsite, and everything is relatively close, so that's why I'm talking softly, so that I don't disturb any of the other people that are in the general area. We're ready to go to sleep now. It's 11:20, and it definitely helped in terms of doing the night hiking that we had only hiked about 8 miles prior in the day, so at least for me, my legs were still relatively fresh, and Riley seemed fine. I'm not sure what Firemaster and Rome's plans were they had indicated that they were planning to come to the shelter as well earlier in the day, but I haven't seen them. They didn't pass us as we were hiking to the shelter, so they may have decided to just find a campsite. But I didn't see many campsites as I was hiking to the shelter. So anyway, they'll figure out what they want to do. And we had a relatively slow day today. Last night I was originally thinking we might be able to hike like all the way up to the summit of Mount Greylock, and then go a bit beyond it and try to find a campsite, but that didn't end up happening, which is fine. But I mean, the reason it didn't end up happening is because, number one, we got off to a late start, and then we took some long breaks at the Diane's Twist place and also Dollar General. Definitely glad that I stopped at the Diane's Twist place. Very nice place, and the ice cream was very high quality. So it's nice to get those experiences. And had a nice conversation with the guy Pokey, and I think Riley enjoyed being there. That was probably like the nicest part of the day too. It was nice and warm, nice and bright. The sun was out, and then when we got to the Dollar General, the sun was definitely getting lower in the sky. It was getting darker, and I was just feeling like we really need to be hiking right now. We're kind of wasting time, so that was my fault. Anyway, so where are we at right now? So in terms of mileage, we've done a good chunk of the initial ascent up Mount Greylock, and it's mostly been in the woods. So it's entirely been in the woods, so it hasn't been like any rock scramble. It's just been like some steep elevation on packed dirt, which hasn't been too bad. And we are at mile 1590.0 exactly. We started the day at mile 1577.3. So that means we did 12.7 miles today. And in terms of elevation, we're currently at 2,696 feet. When we left the town of Cheshire, we were at 974 feet. So we've gained about 1,700 feet of elevation. And Mount Greylock, the summit, is 3,489 feet elevation. And again, we're at almost 2,700 feet. Currently, yeah, so that means we have about 800 feet more of elevation gain to go. And we are 3.4 miles from the summit. Additionally, we are about 9.7 miles away from the town, or from the road that leads into Williamstown. And I am gonna plan to, when we get there tomorrow, assuming we get there, which we should, I'm planning to walk a half mile off trail to get to the Stop and Shop supermarket, where I will plan to resupply Riley's dog food, and also get a few things for myself, because we'll have a long stretch once we leave there, and where we won't have easy access to any grocery stores or on-trail food. Again, today was Thursday, August 22nd, day number 112. Hope everyone's doing well, and we will check in tomorrow. Okay, bye for now.